2, 1. And we are fucking live. This is Kicking It with Kist, episode number 6. And I got my motherfucking boy on here.
Yes, sir.
A good friend, good brother. Known him for many years, hard-working motherfucker, humble dude. And he's an army dude. He's also one half of the fucking Broken Table podcast. Shout out to the fucking Broken Table. And yeah, just a good brother, and I'm excited to have him on. My motherfucking man, Zack Bezel.
Fuck yeah, brother. I appreciate you having me on, dog. That's sweet that we've taking over this podcast game for real.
How you like the studio, man? The setup?
Bro, it's looking fire as fuck. You got these soundboards with these soundproofs up, man. That shit, it just makes it look dope. You know what I mean?
So that's it. Like you said, we were just talking about before we started up about fucking finding the time to do the shit.
Yeah.
Being so fucking busy, just living life.
Yep.
But did you ever think fucking when we were younger, like hanging out, 14, 15 years old, that we'd be fucking doing podcasts and shit like that?
I always wanted to, though, because even from a young age, I always loved podcasts. Mm-hmm. Like, I was at work and I can't always listen to music, you know? Sometimes I just want to hear conversation.
And you're one of those people that when you talk to people, they listen, they gravitate towards you, you know? Yeah. Good conversation.
Same to you, man. I listen to all the fucking podcasts. First episode, work in progress. Second episode, I messaged you, man. I was like, damn, you sound like fucking Joe Rogan, dog. Your shit sound good. Cleared audio, all that.
And that shit hyped me up. Just like fucking, when every time we post each other's shit, there ain't enough of that shit in the world.
That's what I'm saying.
Going on, lifting each other up, you know what I mean?
Well, I seen you just made the Kicking It with Kist Instagram, right?
Yo.
Hell yeah. You about to put that in the description.
I got that up for sure. Yeah, the Kicking It with Kist Instagram. Just trying, like you said, finding the time to promote and to get people on schedule. Fucking been in and out of town like crazy. But what's going on with you, man? So what you doing for work? What's happening?
So I just got done doing... So I was doing commercial flooring with my cousin when I got out the military. I got out in March. So I was doing commercial flooring for a couple months. That kind of fell through. So I was like, I need to get on this routine again. I need to get on this schedule where I'm not gonna be out here drinking all the time. I'm not gonna do all that. So I was like, let me go check out the police force. So I applied for a bunch of agencies, got a couple interviews, crushed the interviews. At least I thought, and I'm waiting around for a call, and I was like, all right, I can't wait around for a call. So I went up to Roseville Police Station, applied there. They called me in. They're like, hey, we got this desk working at the front desk, taking reports. You get to learn all this stuff, From there, give it a couple months. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll sponsor you to the academy. So I've been working there for last month, and it's cool. I'm just not an office type though, So I'm still taking a lot to get used to.
It's hard, especially going from fucking, I would imagine, the army when you're traveling and shit, you know what I mean, across seas, and you're always fucking out in the field and nighttime shit, bro, toting guns and fucking, you know what I mean, really huffing shit, and then going and sitting in an office.
Exactly. Even with the trades and shit, at least, you're around the guys, you're talking, you're joking, you're moving, you're working.
I don't, the trades... It's not my favorite thing, but I don't mind it. It's good work, and I don't mind working hard. So
I used to hate on it, and then Paul was like, I don't think you understand, man. You're learning a trade. You're learning something you'll always be able to have in the back of your pocket.
Always be able to make money.
And when I looked at it like that, I'm like, yeah, you're right, man. I can't hate on this.
Side work and shit, you know what I mean? Doing your own gigs. So, yeah, it's nice. The trades. As long as you're willing to work hard, and learn a little something, you can fucking go a long way, man, in the trades. But there's not a lot of young people that want to work hard, so.
Yeah, I seen it. But after that interview, my dad always been telling me my whole life, you got to get that piece of paper, your degree, doesn't matter what it's in. So once I got this job, I was like, you know what? I work at this desk job. I finally had the time to sit down and look at some schoolwork. So I went up to Macomb and enrolled in a couple business classes.
Nice.
Yeah, so I start that next week. I just bought my books, and that shit was...
expensive.
$300 for 2 books. I was like, damn. Granted, I'm blessed with the Army. They kind of pay for it.
That's fine.
Or at least most of it. Not all
they
of
just
it.
thought it, you guys fucking earn it.
Yeah, facts.
Shit,
facts.
But no, that's fucking awesome. I always thought about sometimes going back to school.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
I mean, education is education.
Yeah, true. And I'm
People
a little older.
Knock it, you know.
Yeah, I can kind of understand it. When I was younger, it was more like, oh, I'm here to mess around. I'm here to do this, whatever. Yeah. Now it's like I'm gonna be zoned in. You know.
And like you said, you're younger, so might as well before you get older.
Yep.
Even though there's people that go back to school at fucking 40, 50, but you don't want to, you know, by that time, you'd probably rather not. But
fuck, man, I did want to ask you a couple questions, you know. I want to see why you wanted to get into the podcast game and all that stuff, too, because it's fun. But you were saying before when we had our setup, you're like, oh, I'm already ordering all my stuff. I was already in the process of it. Why?
See, I was literally, I always, ever since I got to a certain point, as I got older, you know, I'm still young, but after I kind of did a bunch of different shit and tried a bunch of different stuff, took different paths in life, I just got to a point to where I was like, this isn't enough what I'm doing, and I got to start doing more shit that's more fulfilling in my life. So, and I wanted to just start trying new things, and I tried a bunch of different shit. Literally, I tried doing music.
Yeah.
I started fighting. I was fucking doing boxing, and then one day I was literally just told my boys at work, I'm like, I kind of want to start a podcast. And I told Coil. And, you know, Coil, he's my dog. And he's one of them dudes, anytime you tell him something, he's like, bro, yeah, you could do that. Like, like hyping you
That's
up.
the way Paul is, you know?
And so I'm like, he's like, yeah, bro, like, you'd be perfect for it. Like, you should do it. Like, and so once he started saying that, and I love Joe Rogan. Like, I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time at work and shit. And so I just literally started looking into it, like starting up, looking up mics and whatnot, and it was all just an idea. And it took a little bit of time and a little bit of nudging, but especially when I seen you guys. At first, like I said, it was an idea. I was bullshitting. I was like, all right, well, I want to redecorate the room. I want to kind of make like a studio. Like, if I'm gonna do it, kind of do it, right. You know, do it how I want to do it. Yeah. Take some pride in it. So I started doing that. And then I was in the process, and I seen you guys drop, and I'm like, no fucking way. Like, that's fire. I said, I got to get on that shit, because once, you know, sometimes it takes seeing shit like that
100%
to give you that extra step of motivation, you know? And that was fucking awesome. Like I said, life's about just fucking sometimes just trying shit, man.
Fucking pulling
new
triggers,
shit.
man.
You never know what you're going to fucking like. You know what I mean?
100%.
And, like, the podcast game is fun to me. Like, I enjoy it. Even doing the studio, like when I've been having time to put time into make new changes and fucking upgrade, like, I look forward to it. It's not like a nuisance. Like, I enjoy doing it. Just like when you came over, like, we're fucking around trying to get everything set up, but it's not like a pain in the ass. I'm ready to get it going because I'm looking forward to getting after it. So, and I enjoyed talking, having conversation. You know what I mean? Whether it be whatever we're talking about, like I said, as long as it's genuine, I fuck with it. So
that's what it's all about.
But let's fucking hear about you. What got you and Paul, especially? How did you guys like get together?
So me and Paul, we grew up together. You know, we always been around. Shit, man. We're on YouTube together. Me, you, Paul, all that. Fraser fight, you know. Back Eisenhower.
Yeah.
But we both got out the Army, and we're like, yo, let's grab breakfast. We're sitting down at breakfast. He's like, yo, so what are you going to do? I was like, I want to do this. I was like, man, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. It'd be sweet to start one. He's the guy where you go to, and he'll be like said Quail, man, do it now. Pull the trigger, let's buy it. Yeah. So eating breath, and he's like, you want to start a podcast? He's like, I'd be down with that. I was like, you want to just like go half on it and do one together? He's like, buy all the shit right now. Got on Amazon, bought everything.
That's how you gotta be sometimes. It's awesome having them fucking people like that, bro.
Yeah, and it's good having them around, you know, in my life. Yeah, exactly. And the same thing you said, I seen your podcast drop, and it's like, it's not worried, it's not nothing like that. It's like, fuck yeah, it's motivation right there. I see him doing big things. All right, we gotta do this thing together, you know, shout each other. It don't matter about any of that, you know, it's all love. Always. But we gotta just grind harder because of that, you know.
Well, that's what literally me and you, what do? Every time we drop a pod.
Yeah, man.
And we listen. Yeah, we think you should do that, or you think. And that's what I said. As soon as you told me, when you told me about what you thought maybe I could work on after I dropped my pod, I was like, shit, that's homework.
Yeah,
exactly. I got some shit to work on and fucking get better at.
I love when people hit me up and they're like, yo, the audio didn't sound good, or you need to do this or that. I tell people, yo, do it in the comments, man. I let everybody see it. Let me put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
And it's tough sometimes because people don't want to like.
Yeah.
Some people don't take criticism well.
Yeah, I agree.
And then people are like, they don't want to bash people, but you got to, especially when you're trying new shit. Like if you make it, like us doing these podcasts, this is just something we want to do.
Yes.
It's fun. Yeah. We're taking a chance. If someone don't like it, we can change it, you know?
Yep.
So.
No, I've just been podcasting. Like I said, start school. I'm nervous as fuck about that. And I'm kind of like in the midst of deciding if I want to go to this police academy or what, you know? Because the way I grew up, you know, I was always not a bad kid or anything, but we always been surrounded by like a lot of police and having bad, not bad environments, but sort of bad environments, but like sort of looking like bad kids, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, maybe police is something I want to get into. Maybe not to make a change or something. I just think it'd be interesting and see where it could take me, you know.
And it's more. There's gonna be more in it for you because you're looking at it like that.
Yeah.
You're not looking at it as a fucking check for you to.
Okay, so I'm not looking. The money's not even there if I was looking for it. But I
thought about sometimes. I mean, there's a couple of different things I thought about. I thought about fucking getting into. I was gonna be a Navy SEAL. For a minute,
everybody had that idea.
That probably lasted about like a good like month, but I'm just like I went into work and I told everybody because that's the thing. Like I be having these ideas, and I just flat out be like, don't give a fuck. Like I told people, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to do this, and like they'll doubt me, and I just love it, and I'll be like,
you know, honestly,
it don't work. You know, I'm not a Navy SEAL, but
yeah, but
I didn't lose shit from going after.
Yeah.
You know, I looked into it and I was like, I could have. There's no telling if I could have did it or not. Like, but it just at the end of the day, I changed my mind. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But,
well, same thing with the Army, man. I was in the Army and I used to think these Rangers were badasses. And everybody's like, oh, he's a Ranger, blah blah blah. Then I start kind of like being friends with some of them, being like in the same platoon, friends with them. Looking at these dudes like, oh, real beat your ass, man. Like, fuck you talking about you're a Ranger. Like, that don't mean shit. It's like a couple week course, you know. Props to them for doing it, don't get me wrong. Like, that shit is hard. But at the same time, like, that's not like even Navy SEAL is completely different from being a Ranger, you know, but it's not hard. It's not impossible.
That's what I said. And that's how I looked at it, too. I'm like, these guys are just badass motherfuckers. Like, I just want to be a badass motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, that shit's tough. I mean, even just, you know, being in the Army. That was one of the things I wanted to ask you, joining the military. Like, how did you come to that decision? Because I know, like, me and you grew up, you know, younger, hanging out. And I never would have thought, you know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I get that from a lot of people, too. And
so what was that trigger for you in that moment?
I'll tell you what, growing up my whole life, my dad's like, you need to join the Navy. They'll give you 3 square meals, teach you discipline. You're already a good kid, like, just go for the Navy, you know? And then I got, like, out of high school and I started working these jobs. And it was an epiphany, man. One day I woke up and I was like, I'm quitting weed. Like, out of nowhere, all my boys were like, what the fuck, man? Like, you quitting weed? Quit weed for a week. Smoked weed one time, didn't really like it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to quit for another couple weeks. A couple weeks go by and I'm like, all right, let me go dabble in that. Let me go talk to all these recruiters. Went to the Navy, went to the Air Force, went to all of them. And the Army was just the most comfortable, you know. I walked in there, they're the most friendly, most, like people like me and you, you know. The Navy are like nerds, Marines are like hard asses, the Air Force are like weirdos. I walked in the Army and they're like, yo, what's up, brother, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm good, how you doing, brother? Like, and then, you know, sat down and talked to me. Took my little test. Didn't score the best on it, but didn't score the worst. Picked out my job, and then I was like, all right. Talked to my dad about it. You know, he's my number one hype man. He's like, you know, I think you should just try it. He's like, there's nothing here. We'll always be here. Your hometown will always be here for you. Get out, go try it.
Go, yeah.
My motivation right there. I talked to my buddies about it. They're like, really? You want to join? I'm like, shit, man, you do good. Signed my name up for like a 3.5-year contract and shipped off, you know.
Where was the first place you went to?
So I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. Did my basic training there. It's like a 17 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever it was. Cool, man. It was getting smoked, you know. You can look it up online, man. That shit does get a little crazy.
Yeah.
They fuck you up. They buzz your hair. They do all that shit, you know.
Yo.
But it's cool, man.
They gotta break you in.
They break you down and then break you up, you know.
Yo.
It's cool though. You meet some people, you know, from all over. I haven't left Michigan my whole life before that. Now I'm in a room with 40 other dudes who are all different states. So it brings you around all that different culture.
You got no choice but to just meet new people and shit.
Yep. So that was cool. And then at the end of basic training, like a week or two before you leave basic training, they assign you a duty station. So this whole time you don't know where you're going to be stationed. You just know you're in basic training. You're a little fucking maggot. That's it. Then like 2 weeks before basic training, they call me in the room. I'm looking at the computer. They're like, well, you've been assigned Vilsick, Germany. I'm like, stop playing with me. Because it's not like the drill sergeant saying this, like one of the other soldiers, like, yeah, you've been assigned Vilsick, Germany.
Yeah, fuck up. Yeah, right.
So at first, I'm like, oh, stop lying, you know. He's like, no, really, Germany, it says right here. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I walk out, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, Germany? I'm like, dude, I never left my state. Now I'm over here about to go to a different country. Like, I was so blessed with that, honestly. So blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that when you fucking landed in Germany? Was it just like complete fucking culture shock?
Yeah. Well, I'm on the plane, and it's like I want to say like a 15-hour plane ride, you know? So I'm just trying to like soak in all this information. I'm talking to people next to me like, hey, so happened, what the dude next to me was a soldier too. And he's just kind of like giving me the rundown on Germany, like the roads, the culture, the food, the army there, the training, all that stuff. And I was like what the fuck? I got there. Like I said, I never left the state before. Now I'm pulling up to a whole different country by myself type shit.
Germany.
Yeah.
Did you, real quick, not to interrupt you, but did you, before like you left, did you end up learning like to speak German and whatnot?
I did not.
Okay. So you landed there fresh. Like,
landed there fresh, man. And
people are probably like, how do you even say hi in German? What is that?
Hello.
Yeah.
It's just it's weird words, but it's like they still all understand English over there, so that's good.
That's good, yeah.
You hit them with the Sprechen Sie Deutsch? No, we speak English. We speak English. So I'm like, all right. But yeah, I got there, man. That shit was a blessing over there. They trained probably harder than any other army base, so it instilled like a good value in the beginning, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it made me get in like this headset, like, all right, this is what we do. We work all fucking day.
Grind.
We train hard, but we fucking party hard over there. Because over there, man, it's something different with the environment and the women and all that other stuff. You know, they go crazy over there type shit.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I was over there for 2.5 years. Got to do some traveling over there. Got to do some partying. Got to do a lot of training. But yeah, man, it was cool.
How often did you get homesick?
At first,
if at all,
I got homesick. At first, not at all. For the first like half a year there, because it was more like we're worried about, oh, I'm doing the army. I got to do this right. I'm not gonna be one of those shitbags, you know. I'm not gonna come here and fuck around and like I see that a lot. Like people would be fucking just dirtbags, you know.
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck about training. Don't give a fuck about their room. Don't give a fuck about their gear, you know. So it's like, oh, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna G myself up. Because in the beginning, that's when they kind of look at you. You know, you're brand new private. Let's see how you perform now.
Yo.
So I did my research. I was studying all the time, just playing Call of Duty in my free time. Didn't really fuck with nobody for the first like 2 months over there, I'd say. Then you started getting like friendly with people. You know, you start getting your clique, all that other cool shit, and you kind of get to experience that going out nightlife and all that other stuff.
How is that nightlife in Germany compared to fucking here?
I'll tell you what, the first night I got there, luckily, it was like the first weekend I got there, and I had like 2 kids from basic training with me, so I kind of already knew them.
Yeah.
But we're just outside smoking. This dude's like, oh, you guys are new here? He's like, you guys want to go out? We're like, yeah, man. So he took us out to Germany. It's like 12 o'clock at night. And we're like, man, it's late already. They're like, he's like, nah. Taught us how like to work the trains and everything, because over there it's like big, you know, trains. You don't really drive. You drive a lot. They got the Autobahn, but mostly you're taking trains, you know. Taught us how to do that. I'm like, man, it's 12 o'clock at night. Like, got a buzz. I was like, man, it's getting kind of late. We got to take this train back and shit. He's like, no. Go to the club, 12:30. It's not that popping. I'm like, oh, whatever, you know. 1:30, 2:30 rolls around, bro. I'm talking this place is full capacity because they start partying later because the clubs stay open later. They close at like 6, 7 in the morning. So you're partying all freaking night, you know what I'm saying? And the clubs don't get lit until like 1:30, 2 o'clock, you know? So that was like a big fucking culture change, you know, because I'm like,
For
oh
sure.
shit, like this is weird, you know.
All day.
A couple nights you had to like party all day, and the train from like where we party at doesn't go back until like 6:30 in the morning. You got formation at 7:30 in the morning, so sometimes we'd be out all night partying, catch that first train back, hurry up, run to your room, get changed, and then go to formation type shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good times though, good times.
That's fire. That's fire. So you said you were there for 2.5 years, roughly?
2.5 years. Yeah.
Where'd you go after that? You came back home? Or?
No, so there, I re-enlisted there. You know, I was like, all right, the Army is pretty cool. This duty station ain't really the best leadership or whatever, you know. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give it one more contract. I'm going to re-enlist for 2 more years. So you get to pick where you want to re-enlist to. Well, first you got to go talk with this dude, see if it's available. But everybody I came up with who are like real soldiers, like been through some shit, not bullshitted, like been through some shit. They're like, Fort Campbell, Kentucky, it's the best station. The Rockasans this, they deploy a lot. And I was sort of chasing the deployment because I was like, all right, I did all this training. I know my shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't want to go out and kill people or anything, you know? Like, I didn't want to do that, but I was like, I want to utilize this training, you know? I want to go and fight for something if I want to go deploy before I get out. So I went to this Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and they were told they're going to deploy a lot, you know? So I get there, and the first thing they said when I get there, I was like, any upcoming deployments? They're like, yeah, our unit's actually like barred from deployment right now for doing some fucked up shit in Afghanistan a while back or whatever. And I was like, so we're not deploying? They're like, no chance we're not deploying anytime soon. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, so did you ever deploy at all?
So I never deployed to like Afghanistan. I never got to see combat, which I never wanted to see combat. I just, like I said, I did all this training. I wanted to at least utilize it.
Yeah.
But what was cool in Germany is we would have a lot of training missions with a lot of different armies. So I'm talking.
Oh, that was probably sweet.
I'm talking British Army, Lithuanian Army, every army in Europe you can think of, we probably trained with, you know. So we learned their tactics. You know, we get to meet these people from other like countries, you know, and like actually be friends with them, not like, you know, and just train with them. And it was such a good time, man.
Fuck it.
But a couple of the training missions, like they'll have these like sensors on you, you know, sensors on your kit, sensors on your helmet, and they'll send you out in this like training mission. But these sensors have like lasers on your gun. It's like laser tag, but real life.
Oh, that's fucking sweet.
And I'll tell you what, man, we were on this one mission and we're like scouting out. So I was a recon scout, you know, so our whole job was like reconnaissance. Don't be seen, don't be heard.
Yo.
You report everything. We're trying to bring in the bigger element, like going before infantry and like call infantry in for like backup, you know. So we're doing this one training mission where we have to like figure out a route and scout this whole area and see what we can fit in here and all the other stuff. And we're dismounted and we're walking through the woods, like 3 of us. Next thing you know, we hear these guys, you know, come up like speaking a different language because we're training with other armies. You know, it's like army versus army, but like laser tag sort of. So we're like, fuck, get down. These dudes keep getting closer and closer with these flashlights. And then my team leader's like, hey, on the count of 3, we're going to get up and fucking book it back to the OP, you know. So he's like, 1, 2, 3. We get up and start running. All you hear is, like different language. And it, like, because they have blinks in their guns too. So it's like, brother, I never felt like I was getting shot at more in my real life. And yeah, it was like, I was like, oh shit, I really put the jets on after that. We fucking booked it. None of our sensors went off, so we didn't like get like technically killed. But dude, that was the only time I've been like really like, holy shit, dude. That was like some
shit.
Yeah, but it wasn't real. But it was cool as fuck though. You know,
though. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things you look forward to.
Yeah,
signing up for something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking getting into that shit. Hold up real quick. Let me fucking turn this fucking shit on silent.
But do you about to pause it?
No.
I think that's my phone. No.
Hell yeah.
Nah, that was the only time I was like, wow, man, like this is insane right here, you know. Plus the traveling over in Germany, like I said, never left the hometown. Went to Germany, didn't know what traveling was.
Yeah.
But then I was like, all right, like I'm gonna apply for my passport. I get my passport, and I'm like, man, I'm in Germany. I only be here for a certain amount of time. Let me just start traveling. So I got blessed, man, and just started traveling as much as I could, type shit, you know.
Hell yeah. That's one of the things that I would think you got to take advantage of, you know, if you're in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
What about like the physical toll? Did it take like a physical toll on you at all? Like your body, like getting into shape? Like, did you have to do anything? Were you already in shape, like ready for it to get like into? Because I mean, the training and shit like that. I mean, I know you weren't. I mean, military, it's obviously different probably from fucking training to be a Navy SEAL or whatever, but was it like, you know, how'd that process go?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you get the base, they break you down, you're doing push-ups, you're doing all these other workouts, so I was never like, I was never too scrawny or anything, but I was never too big, so I was always like in that good medium where I'm like, I know I'm physical fit, you know, like. For sure. I know I can do all this shit. But, you know, we take PT tests like every like 3 months, like a minute or 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and like a 2-mile run. But you're working out every day. 6:30, you're waking up, working out for 2 hours every single day, no matter what. Yeah, man, that shit does take a toll on you, you know. That's why some people love it, but I kind of, even when I got out the military, I'm like, man, I don't want to work out anymore. And I started getting a little chubby. When I caught myself, I was like, man, I'm getting chubby. I got to get back in the gym. Like, you know, I can't.
What are you doing now? You working out right now?
So, I think like a month and a half ago is when I made that realization where I'm like, yo, man, like, no more bullshit.
I got to get after it.
Yeah, so I went to Crunch, got my Crunch Fitness, and I went solid for like 2.5, 3 weeks, just went hard.
Hell yeah.
Then the podcast stuff started coming up, you know, different jobs, all this other stuff, so I took a step back for like a week or two. Now I'm just getting in there as much as I can. Not like as much as I should, but at least 2-3 days a week type shit.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Know? It's tough.
Yeah.
That's why even for me, like, fuck, with work, like going out of town, fucking, I gotta like, sometimes I get lucky the hotels will have like a gym if I'm staying out of town. But sometimes I just gotta be like, fuck it. Like, I'll be like, dude, I'm about to just run around the hotel. Yeah. Niggas be looking crazy. Like, we go out of town, bro. Like, we get off work. We just did, like, a 10. And I'd be like, they be all like, all right, like, thinking we're about to, like, they're all ready to chill and shit. And I'm like, I gotta go work out. They're like, bro, you ain't about to go fucking work out. I'm like, dude, even, like, I was just on vacation.
But I'll tell you what, I don't like working out. I don't.
Not everybody likes it. But there's different things you can do. Yeah. Besides, like, you don't have to just lift weights. Mm-hmm. Like I said, when I started doing the boxing and shit and training, that shit was getting me in the best shape of my life, and it was not just lifting weights. I completely stopped lifting weights for a minute. I was just literally just doing cardio, doing training, you know, boxing and shit, and that shit got me in tremendous shape, and it was fun. It wasn't like I was, because sometimes not everybody just likes to lift weights, dude, you know. It's boring, you know. But
when you say boxing, you mean like actually like in the boxing gym, or you mean like boxing on your own time?
Yeah, boxing gym. So I literally was just, I wanted to get into MMA. I fucking just, I never, when I was younger, I didn't wrestle or anything. I did karate when I was very young, but I didn't really take to it. Like, I didn't like it. And now that I'm older, I'm like, fuck, I love it now. Like, I love MMA. So I just wanted to start doing that. I hit on my boy who boxes. So I hit him up and I'm like, dude, I just want to get into MMA. Like, I want to start training. I just want to see what it's about. What can we do? And he's like, just told me flat out, he's like, this day, meet me at the gym. We'll get you in there. We'll see what you're about.
Shout out to him,
man. Get your feet wet. Yeah, for real. My boy, James Darling.
Oh, James, shout
out.
James
Darling. Yeah. Shout out James Darling, for real. And he's a boxer. He's competing again now. So, but he's a fucking dog. And I hit him up and I met him at the gym. I started at Gold's Gym and right there in Warren. And they got They got a boxing gym. They got a couple trainers. Yeah, they got a ring and shit.
Really?
They do live sparring on Sundays. Yeah.
Really?
So it's dope. And I got in there, and the first day, bro, the first workout, like, shout out my nigga James, because he was like, he's like, I know you. So it's like, he was kind of like, and then there was his trainer, which is K9, and he was a professional boxer.
Yeah.
And he actually won some titles and shit, and you can look him up, K9 the boxer. He's a local guy from Michigan, but so I started training, and like, they were working me, and they were like, all right, like, there were some other guys too that weren't in as good a shape, and whatnot, and they were like, they saw that I could kind of keep up, so they were like, all right, well, we're not about to take it easy on you. And I'm like, because doing construction, I was literally working, bro, all day, and then going in boxing.
Yeah.
Getting my shit punched in.
Mm-hmm.
And
were you sparring and shit though?
Yeah. So at first I just was doing training.
Yeah.
When I first started.
For like
cardio,
a month?
Circuits, heavy bag, drills and shit like that. And I only trained for a couple weeks until I started actually sparring.
Really?
And then, because there's other boxers that go there that actually compete, and like I said, they do tournaments and shit, and MMA and boxing. And so, like I said, the days we sparred, I sparred with my trainers and then like people that we trained with. And like when we spar, like with each other, like sometimes it can get rough,
Yeah.
And like
people's emotions get in the way.
You kind of feed off of each other.
Yeah.
So it's like, if someone's hits you hard, you're gonna probably fucking clock them back, But most of the guys there that I trained with were pretty cool. But then Sundays was live sparring. Anybody could come in there. Like, anybody was coming in there from anywhere. Like, cats were coming in there that were like for real boxing, like 7 days a week. And I'm just now like at 200 pounds, 205.
Like,
when I first started boxing, like, I was still like 220, 225.
Yeah.
So I was boxing heavyweights, bro. Yeah. And like, I'm boxing niggas that are like 6'3". I'm only 5'11". So, but I'm getting in there, bro. I remember and we wore headgear and shit and gloves, but when your face is not used to it, like they say, like when you first start, like your face bruises way more, like when you get hit. And I remember, like, for a week, dog, my shit was fucked up, bro.
Really?
Yeah. After, like, a week of sparring, bro, I fucking, like, my eyes were all, like, purple and swollen and shit for, like, a couple days. But, and, like, I wasn't hurt or nothing like that. But boxing, any type of fucking, I mean, it's a sport.
Yeah.
That mixed martial arts. But I definitely enjoyed getting into it. Yeah. Learned a lot,
I'll tell you what, I took some boxing lessons in like 7th to 8th grade. And I told my dad, I was like, I want to get in a fight. And, he said, all right, let's go to the local boxing gym. So the first month there, man, I'm this little hothead. I got short man syndrome, I think I'm the shit. I walk in there, let's do it. So they just started putting me on like exercising for like a month. Exercise, learning the fundamentals, all the other stuff. After that month, I was like, all right, I want to get in the ring. They're like, hey, you can't just jump in the ring. You got to give some time. So like a couple more weeks went by. I think I did it for like 2 months. So 2 more weeks went by. I was going there 3-4 times a week, They kept making me do these exercises, hitting the speed bag, doing all this other shit. And then I got to a point I was like, yo, I just want to get in the ring. I want to spar. I want to do this. And like, listen, you're almost at that point. You're just not ready there, blah, blah, blah. That's when I had to cut it. I was like, Dad, I don't want to do boxing anymore. I was like, they're not putting me in the ring. I was like,
let up.
But they're probably right, though. They're probably, you need to learn your fundamentals and all this, especially like a younger crowd, younger cat. But I wish I would have just thrown me in the ring like first day, got my ass beat, and then I could have understood it.
You never know. You might be ready for it when you get thrown in the ring. Exactly. Everybody's different. Yeah. Some people just take to it. Like, there's some cats that would be in there. Some of these younger cats, smaller, but just punching so fast. Yeah. Talking about blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, man, it's fucking crazy, and it's a fucking really sweet thing to see when people are in there just fucking shit up.
I'll tell you what, it did teach me how to like punch properly and like how to like rotate your feet and like how to throw a fucking jab and a fucking hook and all that. So
for sure,
I'm grateful for it, but I kind of wish I would have stuck.
Like
with
you said,
it.
It takes time.
Yeah,
and it's like you gotta have the patience.
Yep.
It's how, like I said, when I was in karate when I was a kid, I fucking was like, they were teaching me how to punch. Like, you know, when you start karate, you're literally standing there in your suit and you're doing this. And so I did karate for a little bit. Never got any belts, but a
lot of people hate on karate.
I just was like, this shit's boring, you know. But I mean, if you know karate, you're a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people hate on karate, man, but don't.
But you can't hate on a nigga like Bruce Lee. You know what I mean? Flat out.
No, I wish I would have stayed with the boxing though, honestly. Flat out. To this day, you know, it'd still be sweet to.
That's what I said. Like I gotta get back into it. You know, I kind of been, like I said, I still train on my own. Like I tell people now, like that's how, like you said, I don't even just like to lift weights like that. Like I still lift weights because it's good for you. You know, and but when I go to the gym, I like to train. Like I liked, that was something that I liked that helped me get into shape that I enjoyed, and it wasn't like. You know, I liked it. It was brutal, you know, and it was tough. There was times where I was like, fuck that. I would get off work and be like, I'm about to just tell them like that something came up, I can't go.
That's when it comes to discipline though, stuff.
Get my ass up, and then when you're in the car on the way there, maybe listen to something that's motivating for you or whatever, and you're just going to do it. You're like, fuck it, I'm already here. You know, by that time you're already there, and it's time to go. You know, so.
No, that's cool. I wish I would have stayed with it, like I said.
Yeah.
But
hey, it ain't never too late. Fuck it.
True. It really is. It really isn't. I mean,
so how long are you thinking you're going to be in school for? Are you just going to do, bachelor's maybe?
Yeah, probably bachelor's. I took business classes. I figured if I'm going to take some, at least be interested in it. I always wanted to own a business. I feel like everybody wanted to own a business, but marketing, all that other stuff, I think it will really help me for life. But I'm just taking it slow at first. I think I registered for like 2 or 3 classes. So we'll start off with that, see where it goes from there type shit, you know?
Fuck yeah.
No, I'm sort of excited. I'm nervous. Like, I've never been a big school cat. I don't know if you've ever been a big school cat, but...
I was going to ask you about that. How is that? I mean, I know you probably did some schooling when you were obviously, you know, in the service, obviously doing a little bit of schooling, but like now getting back into school, because that was always my thing too. School was never my thing. I like to learn, but I was always, I mean, I never was technically diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, but if it wasn't something that I was interested in, 9 times out of 10, I didn't give a fuck. So, but now you haven't been in school. Now you're getting back to it. How's that?
Well, I don't know, man. I tell you what, the Army kind of... Because everybody thinks all the Army, all you do is, like, shoot guns, train, fight. No, like, you're doing classes. There's different courses to take, you know? And there you kind of have to learn that. If not, you're getting in trouble, you're getting smoked, whatever. So it kind of made me realize, like, now I think I could go to school. I think I have that discipline where I could sit there and actually, like, focus on what I have to focus on.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it would be good. Like I said, I took a lot of I took online school over there. I took like 2 classes online while I was in the Army.
Okay.
But it was just too much to handle with the Army and the school and then the partying when I was just in Germany and the traveling. So I was like, all right, I'll put that on hold.
Well, school fucking, I mean, it's another thing. You got to be fucking really disciplined. You know what I mean? When you're doing that. Like, that's what I was saying about when I got out of high school. About thinking about going to college, I would have just been partying like a dog.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Fucking getting crazy.
Yep.
Doing whatever.
Yeah. So I think I'll be good. You know, I'm sure I'll struggle, but
education is important.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't fucking harm. It can't harm you. You're only gonna benefit from it. You know.
I see both sides of it, where it's like, you know, education is always good. I'm not gonna hate on education, but people dig themselves in that hole, you know, where they rack up a couple $100,000 of school debts and shit, you know. Some people don't finish it, you know.
I'm telling you, that shit it's expensive. And it's hard, I feel like, especially when you're younger and you start going to college, like, to say you know what you want to do when you're 18.
I know, I'll tell you what,
it's a hard thing to do, you know.
I'll tell you what, my dad did have the good solid mentality, you know. I recommend it to my kids when they're 18, join the military for 2 years, After that, if you want to go to school, it's your free college right there type shit, you know.
That's not a bad fucking way to look at it.
Yeah, so I'll definitely instill that in my kids one day. You know, I won't force him to it. He didn't force me or anything, but I'll definitely instill it in him. Like, yo.
I mean, there's so many fucking good things that you took from it.
Yeah.
So why not pass it on, you know? And that's the thing. If people want to do it, they'll do it. Your kids. If not, you know, they ain't like they have to, but who knows?
So crazy thing the other day is we just got done golfing, me and Berto, and he dropped me off at my house, and we seen this kid we know, kind of younger than us. I'm not gonna say no names, but he's my neighbor. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go stop and talk to him." Stop and talk to him. He's like, "Yeah, I just dropped Zack off, you know, at the house. Blah, we just got done golf." And he's like, "Zack," he's like, "Didn't he get a dishonorable discharge?" And I'm like, "Whoa. Berto calls me afterwards. He's like, "Yo, this kid just said you got like heard about this." And I'm like, "Whoa. I was like, "You mean to tell me those motherfuckers going out there saying I got a dishonorable discharge or something?" Which, at the same time, dishonorable discharge doesn't always mean bad things. You know, stuff happens.
Still, though.
But yeah, but I was like, I was kind of offended by that. Like, I want to hit him up and be like, yeah, no, it's not like that. Like, I wonder if other people think that type shit.
Yeah, because that's fucked.
But at the same time, I don't really care what people think.
Exactly.
You know, I don't. If he thinks that or he heard it from somebody, that's cool. At least, like, I know.
But it's just, it makes
like
you
that.
think it's, like, stupid, you know? Like, people would just say whatever, you know? Who knows, like you said, who the fuck even, you're like, that's the first thing you think, like, where'd you hear that?
Exactly. I'm like, motherfuckers really saying
places
this
people get their fucking information from. It's like, dude, what? But, no, people are gonna say whatever.
Yeah.
But, that was good. I mean, so, the service, the military, it was definitely a good decision for you in the long run.
Yeah, I think so.
And you learned a lot of shit from it, you know?
Yeah, if you listen to this, hey, never too late. You can join the service till up to like 32 or something.
Really? See,
I'm not gonna
I
say I
didn't
recommend it.
I didn't know that what the age cutoff was. I thought it was much younger.
It's either 32 or 34.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, one of my best friends in the army was this little short Mexican Sucio, fucking 32 years old, joined right at the cutoff date. One of the best friends, best soldiers, best guy I've ever met in my life.
That's even the commitment you gotta have at an age like that. Yeah. Like, to just be like, fuck it.
Yeah.
After all that time.
Well, you need to know it's always there. You know, until you're 32, 34, it's always there.
That's
you know?
It's a big decision. That was my thing with it, with joining, was I didn't want to part with my outside, like, freedom as much, you know? Because when you're doing something like that, it's the dedication you have to have. A lot of your lifestyle that you have previously is probably going to be changing. Yeah. So it's a big commitment. But I got fucking hella respect, bro, for anybody that does that shit. I mean, but whether it be fucking you're going into the service just for fucking to be a medic or whatever, like, that's 100%. The thing. Everybody thinks, like you said, everybody thinks you got to be out doing, like, in combat, but there's so many different, like, when Quayle was going to join the Navy, he was going to go fucking into engineering, you know? It's like there's so many different fucking ways that you can go.
Job opportunities in the Army are a big thing, you know? You want to do woodworking, you want to do heating, cooling, they got all that shit, you know? AC mechanics, all that, you know?
And if they're going to fucking help you.
Yeah, and it's definitely,
like
if you got
said,
out.
Education and whatever you're going to do ain't fucking cheap.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, so.
Yeah.
But the Broken Table Podcast.
The Broken Table Podcast, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
We got a lot of big upgrades.
How many episodes you got?
I think we got, man, I want to say we have like 10 or 12, but we had to scratch a couple of them. Some of them got wild, some of them got bad audio. But I think we got like 8 or 9 up right now.
Hell yeah.
I want to say 9 up, and then we're posting one soon.
Fire.
But revamp of the whole studio, man. We're switching rooms, switching everything. Because you know how it is, man. Like, you audio problems or equipment problems or people flaking.
We were just fucking going through it, man.
Yeah, man.
The podcast game is tough.
Yeah, it's not easy,
It's like, if it comes out good, people are like, oh, yeah. They don't know how hard it was to make it good like that. There's so many factors that go into it to try to make the shit look good, sound good, get everything together.
But we just dropped a bag on some new stuff. We're going to be working with some other shit, more like different camera angles, better table, new mics, maybe a camera soon. But yeah, man, it's expensive, but it's such a fun hobby catching up with like old friends or good friends or people you don't know or anything like that. Man, it's actually really cool.
Hell yeah.
That's why if you're listening to this, man, come on the Kicking It with Kist podcast, man. Come kick it with him.
Yeah. But before you do that, get on the fucking Broken Table podcast. The truth. We got to get Paul on here. I got to get Paul on here next. Shout out to Paul Shock, the other half of the Broken Table podcast.
But you know how it is, man. It's hard getting people on sometimes, you know? Like, we kind of talked about it in our podcast, but if you're listening, don't be scared to come on. It's not like we're going to grill you. If you're not doing something right in your life, it's not like we're going to go in on that. It's like, we're just catching up.
But that's what I said. Like, the vibes you get. When everybody kind of is nervous at first, and then they get on, and they're like, let them chill for a minute, and they sink in, and they just... That's what I said about when I did my podcast. I didn't want it to be like an interview. Like, I wanted it to be more casual. You know, just talking, whatever. Like I said, everybody's like, well... Like, especially like older, like my grandma. Shout out to my grandma, she watches.
Oh, yeah.
But,
shout out. Shit.
I don't want her to.
I feel that.
Love you, Granny.
Yeah.
But she's like, what is it about? She, like, asked me, like, 5 times. I'm trying to tell her, I'm like,
just kicking
it's just about everything.
Yeah.
Like, we're just talking about whatever. Just having, and she's like, yeah, but, like, what's the point of it? And I'm like, the point of it is to just talk.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Not everybody understands it, you know.
No, but it's fucking dope.
What's good with us, you know, I'm more like the asking questions type, you know, and Paul's more like conversation, kind of like bounce it off each other.
Yeah.
But the last person we have on was Steve Kaz. I don't know if you know who that is, Steve Kaz.
No, but I watched the podcast. I mean, I seen the podcast. Yeah. He's a comedian.
He's a comedian from Frasier.
Yeah, I knew he's from Frasier. That's fucking sweet. And
a cool ass dude. Like, I never met him before. Cool ass dude. Fucking came on, taught us a bunch about comedy. You know, I'm asking questions, and afterwards I sat down and talked with him. I'm like, and he's been on podcasts before. He's been on like legit podcasts. Like, we're just starting out, not even 10 episodes deep, and he's been on like 50,000 subscribers podcast shit.
That's,
you know,
fucking sick.
So we sat down with afterwards and like, yo man, you're the type of person who would tell us straight up, what are some things we need to work on? He just gave us good feedback. He's like, so you guys could do this and like work on these different camera angles and conversation, this, and that. And I was like, okay, like that stuff we're gonna grow on, you know.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Especially someone like that's in deep.
Yeah. You
got to take whatever you can. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's so hard. You know, the podcast game, it's intricate. Yeah. There's a lot of factors that go into it. So, but that's sweet. Hell yeah. I've never really saw how's this comedy. I gotta look into it. I love fucking comedy. So
I went to a comedy show a couple of days ago, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to say where because it's that embarrassing. But we went to a comedy show, and I'm not the biggest fan of comedy, you know. But the first comedy show I went to was like a girl. It was 2 girls and a guy, like a goofy guy, and this fucking black dude. Black dude was funny as hell because he was telling jokes I could relate to. The other 3, I couldn't really relate to their jokes, and they're kind of corny. Then I went to this all-women's mic night at this bar, and I liked it, you know, but it's just like I can't really relate to it. But I feel like comedy I gotta relate to like it.
Comedy's so hard. Like stand-up comedy for people to do that. Like you gotta get everybody in the audience to think that you're funny.
But I dove into his comedy, and I don't know if it's just because I can relate to it or what, but he actually seemed like a pretty fucking funny dude, you know, like genuinely funny. Yeah. So I was actually like digging it before because I had to do my research before he came on.
So does he do shows?
Yeah, he's doing shows. He's traveling.
Okay. So shout out Steve Kaz.
Yeah, Steve Kaz Comedy. Look him up on Insta, dog. He's a goat, dude. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I love fucking comedy. I mean, it's hard to do comedy, especially nowadays because everybody's so fucking sensitive. Yeah. So it's like, if you can do comedy, bro, and you can do it good, and you can make people laugh. But I mean...
You ever been to a comedy show?
No.
Dude, once you go there, man, you'll be sitting in the crowd and being like... You'll think these fucking jokes right off the top of your head. You'd be like, dude, I could go up there and do this shit, you know?
I say that shit all the time, man.
But every time I'm sitting in there, I'm like, dude, I have 5 jokes lined up. I hope they just call somebody from the audience like, hey, anybody else want to come up here and do comedy? It's on my bucket list, so I'm definitely going to be doing some open mics.
Getting up there and doing it, like... But I thought about it, like, I'd be at work, bro, I'd be making them laugh all the fucking time. Yeah. Like, I'd be making everybody just crack up, and I'm like, I say that shit too, I'd be joking around, I'm like, I should do stand-up.
Yeah.
There's a couple people I know that, like, can do stand up. I feel like couple of my friends, but like I said, the being funny thing is one factor, but then being able to go up, do it on a stage in front of people, be comfortable while you do it, you know.
And there's different forms of it too. I'm more like I feel like I'd be like more the interaction roast comedy type shit, you know, like somebody else went up before me, I'm gonna go off of their jokes and go up the crowd a little, not just fucking have the scripted jokes and shit,
bro. Because to do that, to have, like I said, to do comedy and to have jokes, like you got to be practicing, you got to memorize it. Yep. That's like that job ain't fucking. It's not easy. So I applaud fucking comedians and people that can do that shit. And like I said, you got to have thick skin and you got to be able to just say, because you're gonna get bashed. Whatever, no matter what you say, especially now in today's age, you're gonna offend somebody. Yep. So, because people don't get it, like comedy. That's how, like I said, it's so hard. Yeah. You know.
It's cool though.
It's fucking, you know.
Maybe we'll have to hit an open mic.
Everybody likes to laugh. You know? Yeah, for sure.
He was telling me there's open mics.
Gonna have to get him on the pod.
Yeah, it is.
Podcast.
I'm sure I'd be down too. Such a cool cat, man. So cool.
Yeah. So how is it having like 4 people, you know, like multiple people on the pod? I was thinking about having a couple of different, like 2 people on at once.
So fucking, we hit up Mattis. Shout out Mattis. He's in his bodybuilding, you know, doing good in his life.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And we were like, all right, we want to get somebody who's like into exercise, like really into it, you know. And he hit me up. He's like, yo, man, you care if I bring Brady? Like, he says he's down to come on too. And I'm like, oh shit, like, we got 3 mics, huh? Let's make it work though. Fuck it. Like, the more the merrier. You know? If you want to come on, bullshit, let's do it. But it was weird because, like I said, I'm more like the interview type and he's more the conversation part. So we're like bouncing off each other, and then we have to do it with 2 people. With you, it might be easier having 2 people on because you got to like, you're just kicking it, but you have to have questions for the separate. You know, so it's a little complicated.
Keep a conversation going 3 ways instead of just back and forth.
Exactly.
But that's what I love about that, like, because as soon as I made the pod, like, people are like, I want to be a co-host, and I'm like, I get it, but it's a lot easier having the conversation with the one-on-one, you know, and you can touch base on shit a lot, you know what I mean, a lot more.
No, it's cool with the co-host because, you know, we're obviously paying everything's in halves, you know.
Hell yeah. So well, plus 2, you guys feed off of each other.
Yeah, we feed off each other, exactly.
Like, you and Paul feed off of each other really well, you know what I mean? And it helps, too, because sometimes, like, that's the thing, everybody gets scared to come on because they're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't have nothing going on in my life. Yeah, you do, man. Just because you don't find it interesting doesn't mean somebody else won't, you know. And it's good because we both catch, like, errors or something, you know. If we notice we're doing something wrong, we'll have people reach out to us. But at the same time, we both know what we're doing wrong type shit, you know.
For sure. So, what's probably been your favorite episode so far on your podcast? You know?
See, it's a little hard.
You got a couple of them, probably.
Yeah, I feel like every episode I do, it's like after I walk out there, I'm like, I
could say either.
I'm like, that's my favorite, you know. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to choose from because you see, like with we had Grant on, shout out Jihadist.
Yes.
But we had Grant on.
Yeah, that's my boy Grant.
But he was just like deeper than I expected, so it like took a turn, not a bad turn, a good turn, but he's like deeper, and we got in like mental health and stuff. So I was like, wow, like this is cool that we're talking about this. I didn't expect to talk about this.
Yeah, right.
But then you got like Brady and Madison on are like the whole time I'm asking them questions and they're like teaching you. They're like, oh, fucking home improvements or real estate or working out, this and that. So it's like, I guess you get something different from every single episode. I'm sure same thing with you, you know.
All day, yeah. So you said you probably got a bunch of new ones coming up, huh? What does the audience have to look forward to on the Broken Table, man? What kind of people are you trying to get on there?
So you know how it is. That's
the other thing. It's hard.
Yeah, so getting people on is very hard. But the thing is, I think right now, everybody's like worried about like quality. We kind of just want to push out quantity. The more the merrier. We went to the bar the other night and this kid's like, I love your podcast, but you got all these Fraser kids on. Yeah. And it's like, oh, we already know what they're doing in their life. Yeah. And I totally agree. It's harder to get that older crowd or that different crowd out there.
For sure.
But I kind of thought about it like, yeah, you're 100% right. I know what we need to do. But I kind of I like linking up with people. We're 10 episodes in, we're 5 episodes in. Let's just
can still be interesting if just because you're from Fraser. You know, that don't mean that you don't got something going on. You know.
But the goal would be like our first goal is to have, and still our goal, but it's like business owners. Motivate people doing interesting, friends. It doesn't matter, you know.
Sure.
Joe Rogan said, he was like, when I first started my podcast, he's like, I'd have anybody come on, you know. You don't believe in the Holocaust? Come on in, you know.
Yeah, right.
And that's how I am, you know. We're definitely, like I said, this new studio should be pretty sweet, though.
Well, you just talked about the Holocaust, so now we gotta end up talking about probably something like a conspiracy.
Oh man, I went to Auschwitz. I went to the I can't think what it's called right now. I'm 2 beers deep. I'm wasted. No, I'm playing. But
I feel you.
The Holocaust Museum, not like Auschwitz, the concentration camp.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Auschwitz, you know, and I made a joke there.
Yeah.
Because we did this tour guide.
How'd that go?
We were doing this tour guide, and I had one of my army buddies. She's like, "You guys have any questions?" And I rose my hand. Fucking dumb American in the back. I was like, is it true the Holocaust was a myth? And you know, we're a couple beers deep there, and she just not lost it, but she was like, "Are you serious? You see where you're standing? Blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh man, like I didn't think it would offend somebody like this, but I also see why it offended people and all." But I was just like, "Oh, I'm just joking. It's all right."
Yeah.
She's like, "You know where you're at right now." What's some conspiracy you're thinking about though, man?
Honestly, I mean, a lot of my younger life, like I wasn't even aware of like conspiracies. Like it was never my thing. Then as I got old, like when I was kind of younger, like young adult, I was kind of just like, well, like whatever, like I gotta see it to believe it type shit.
Yeah.
And I'm still like that, like.
So
but now
I like shit, you know?
I like conspiracies.
Yeah.
But there's a boundary you gotta have kind of with them because it's like you can't be that fucking crazy nut that's fucking, because if you just look into them too much, bro, and you go down that rabbit hole, you're fucked, and you will fucking just be looking and find some shit that's gonna make you say like, and then you're questioning everything, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta let that shit rock, you know what I mean?
No, I was big into conspiracies at one point, but like you said, you get down that rabbit hole and things start getting weird. But like everybody talks about the basic ones.
But some of the shit makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
true. It does
like
make sense. You know?
I love them. I don't know.
Some of the basic ones are like flat Earth.
Trying to think of what's a pretty good one.
Werewolves, fucking. See, my favorite one that I actually believe in, that I might sound cuckoo, is I believe mermaids could be real. Not like a half fish, half human, but.
Well, what about? Do you know about the lost city of Atlantis?
Yeah, same thing. I believe that could be actually true. You know, like I said, there's still whales.
I believe in fucking. I believe in a lot of shit. I mean, I think that I definitely believe in aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that us personally, like, there's a lot of shit that probably goes on in the universe that the humans don't even have no fucking clue what it is. We just fucking tell people, just listen to whatever they say, but you can go dig shit up, man. I'm fine. Some shit that'll make you be like,
yeah,
you know.
You got to put it like this. So on our Earth, we haven't even explored our oceans all the way. There's still whales that we're finding yearly, new species of whales in our ocean. That
shit trips me out too.
Yeah,
the ocean. Like when I was just in Florida, I thought about that. Like I was like, I think about that. I've been blowed out on shrooms. Watching like on Netflix, they got like the documentaries like the in the ocean and shit.
Yeah.
And you're like thinking like you're just all fucked up. Like, bro, we're so like small, bro. Like there's shit that they ain't even been to the bottom of. Facts. You know what I mean?
That's why Lost City, Atlantis, mermaids. Too. Yeah, not exactly.
Even just the ocean, the fucking Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
But I mean. It's awesome. I mean, it's one of the fascinating things, bro, about the world, that it's just like, it's crazy.
Now, Bigfoot, I don't know about Bigfoot, personally, but...
Something for people to chase.
Maybe like Yeti.
They love it.
Maybe like the snow Bigfoot, you know, like Antarctica.
I don't know, what about the pyramids? What about how they built something so perfect, bro.
Mm-hmm. Joe Rogan talks about that every fucking podcast, and he's so right, man. Like we couldn't even make those pyramids today if we wanted to, type shit.
They're fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, some of this shit, bro, is crazy. Like Quill be talking about fucking the world really like back in the day that we used to be giants. What about that?
Yep. 7 feet figure, 8 feet people I mean? Type shit, you know?
It's crazy.
Who knows? They're probably poisoning our food. You know?
I mean, if I could go through and just live a life through every part of the fucking existence, you know?
If you had a time machine, would you go in the future or the past?
Time machine. I'm going into the fucking... Probably the past.
You think so?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know either, man. It would be cool to experience like the Woodstock, like, you know, back in the day. I wouldn't want to go too far, like cavemen or anything like dinosaurs.
I'm trying to go back to where the dinosaurs are.
But at the same time, man, I'd love to see shit a million years from now, or
like
fucking,
the Ice Age.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go back during that. You know, I'm cool on that.
You know, or what about like?
But the future, man, what could be in the future?
That's the thing. The future might be scary. You don't know what the fuck is. That's the thing. The past, you're going back. You know what you're going back to.
True.
So,
what do you think you know, at least?
In the past?
Yeah. I mean, these history books, you know, I'm not saying they're all wrong, but they're not all the 100% most accurate.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind going back to, like, probably the time of the Egyptians, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they be working your ass, dog. Shit, dude.
For real.
Just that one.
But I want to see how all of that was
done.
You know, the ancient civilizations, bro. You know,
who knows? You
it
could
had
go
to be
back
something back in time that's kind of unexplained.
Exactly. Yeah, you go back and see some shit like that and be like, oh, I know why. You know,
like where the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know where we came from.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will ever know. You know.
You know.
There's plenty of sides.
I grew up like my family was Christian, you know, and like my immediate family is Christian, and most of my family is Christian, and like I totally respect whatever you want to be as long as you're not hurting people, you know, doing bad shit. But there's so many different. It's like I feel like some people just fall into it, like oh well, I gotta believe this because like everybody else does, but it's, I mean, you gotta just like do some of your own shit, you know, and look into other stuff, and you might, I don't know where the fuck we came from, you know. I've read some of the Bible. I haven't read the whole thing. Read through about half of it, but it's like, do you believe it, or are you just saying you're a Christian, you know, and just going with it because you think that if you say that you're gonna be a good person, you know?
But here's the thing: I was brought up in the church. You know, I'm a confirmed Catholic. Communion, confirmation. I did all that. Catechism, Sunday Bible school, vacation Bible school. I did all that. And I'll never forget. I was like, I want to say 9 or 10, and I was curious, you know, as any kid is. And I went to the head sister, and I was like, Sister Jolene. Shout out Sister Jolene. She probably doesn't watch, but you know, great woman. She's like, I was like, where's Jesus from? She's like, oh, Jesus is from God. I was like, well, where did God come from? She's like, you know, you should ask Father Singer about that. R.I.P.
Yeah.
And I went to Father Singer, and I was like, so who gave birth to God, you know? Like, how did God come? Like, any question anybody has to this day, I bet.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he gave me like a bullshit answer or anything, but he kind of, this is like 8, 9, 10-year-old me, and he gave me this like answer where it's like more like towards the church. It was like, oh, like this and that. I don't exactly remember what he said, but he kind of gave me this, not phony answer or anything, but like this church answer.
Yeah.
And I was a kid, and I was like, wow, like that's kind of like a, I don't know. Then that's when it started making me wonder about it. You know, I was like, well, it could be God. You know, it could be something else. Who knows?
That's what I said. No one fucking knows.
Yeah.
You know, like faith is something. If you're a believer, you know, that's just that's what you go off of. And but it's like I said, there's so many different fucking theories out there and different. But I would like to go back to like maybe even like Greek mythology times.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
To like big fucking back then, like the wars and shit like that, with the real war gods and shit like that.
Yeah, those are some savages. You know, we think we see some Liver King out there, and they're like, oh, he's a savage, or Arnold Schwarzenegger or something. Like back in the day, those dudes are real savages.
Liver King, what do you think?
Oh, he's on steroids
all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Not all day, maybe, but I'm sure he's not 100% natural.
It's not just a primal diet.
No,
him eating fucking liver and testicles.
Well, I'm sure he probably like does it for like a month. You know, maybe doesn't do it for a month, but I'm not gonna say he's like fully on steroids because
he's just
not
scamming.
Like,
he's just fucking getting off on that. You know.
Shout out Liver King though. It's still a bad motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. Steroids are not.
Yeah. Shout out Liver King.
Me and Mattis had this talk. It's not like steroids aren't the biggest deal, you know.
No, like, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I know people that do steroids.
Exactly.
It's not my thing. But I mean, that doesn't mean that the workouts he's doing and shit aren't still brutal. Yeah. The Liver King, you see those videos, bro? He's fucking walking with the kettlebells and the sleds on his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steroids are now. He's putting that work in.
He's
you know
fucking on a tree, bro, climbing up a rope.
Yeah, so props to him. But
he's a savage.
But if you're like doing like competitions, like weightlifting competition, you're just doing steroids or something, that's when I don't think it's cool, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're competing with these other natural people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure.
I see you're a big UFC guy.
Yeah.
Let's chat about that a little, man. What you
got
out this 13 days? What you got?
The card. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Who you
I wish I could be there.
You going Islam first fight? Islam?
No.
You're going Oliveira.
Dude, Bronx. I'm going Oliveira. That's my fucking guy.
I think me too.
He's a savage, bro.
Both bad motherfuckers, dude.
Oh yeah, it's probably like one of the biggest fights since Conor and Khabib.
I think so.
Yeah, like because this is basically
it's good ass card.
This is Khabib's prodigy, and it's like Oliveira now is the new lightweight king. So if he beats Islam, like Joe Rogan was even talking about it, fucking like Khabib coming back. If Oliveira wins to avenge like Islam, you know, but a lot of people think Islam's gonna win. It could go either way. Islam is a fucking beast.
It really could. All these fights could go either way.
Islam is a really good wrestler.
Who else is on that card? I know they're the main card. Who's
my
the
boy
undercard?
Sugar Sean.
No, that's a card below, but Sugar Sean, Peter Yan.
Oh no, the undercard is Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw.
Yep. That's gonna be another good ass fucking fight, dude.
I'd rather see Sean versus Peter.
Yeah, I think everybody's on that too.
I love that boy Sugar Sean.
Who you got on that? You got Sean on that?
That nigga can scrap. Yeah.
I don't know if you know Peter Yan at all, but that motherfucker's a
I watched his last two fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had the belt.
Mm-hmm.
He's a savage too, but I gotta go Sugar. I mean, and especially because he's the underdog.
Yeah.
I love the underdog, you know. And he can bang, bro. And I like how he trains. His videos are funny as fuck. You ever see him?
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's all on the bike and shit, smoking weed, in the ring.
Peter, you wanna hit?
That's how I train.
Yeah.
Go get a lot of guys that do fucking martial arts smoke weed. It's crazy. People will be fucking amazed.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's gonna be a good card. It's gonna be a good card.
No, I'm excited for it. I just started getting into the UFC like the past year or two.
You said you got Oliveira though.
I probably got Oliveira. I probably got Dillashaw. Yep. And I probably got. I want O'Malley.
Yeah, TJ might. Aljamain in his last two fights, he didn't even look. I mean, he won by obviously by decision.
Yeah.
I watched the first fight too, where, Piotr Jan got disqualified, but I mean, I don't know. TJ Dillashaw is a dog. He's a vet. I mean, he's gonna give Sterling all that he can handle.
Both bad motherfuckers.
What about? Did you just watch the last card with Diaz, his last fight?
Yeah, I watched Diaz's last fight. I didn't like watch the card though. You know, I kind of just
I watched the card a little bit. I went to the Baraboo. I was just fucking watching it up there, but I had to watch my boy Hamzat Chimaev. That nigga's the truth.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I would love to see Nate Diaz and him fight because it would have went completely different. You know, he would have fucked Diaz up.
Hamzat would have fucked him up.
I don't know, man.
I'm sorry, I love Nate, but
I don't know, man.
Dude, Hamzat is fucking a savage, and he's too young.
Who do you fight, Holland?
Strong.
Holland?
Bro.
Holland kind of went for like a little hand slap. He just
fucking
shot on him right away,
he
know?
Just took him down.
I don't think that would have happened with Diaz, you know? And maybe he would have won.
The only person that's ever hit him is Gilbert Burns. And Gilbert Burns was the number 2 fighter in the division, and Gilbert Burns can scrap.
Yeah.
But Nate Diaz is old. He don't strike. Like, yeah, he might have, like,
But it's
if
jiu-jitsu
Hamza,
is there, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If he would have
for
took
sure.
Diaz to the ground,
but
and
so is fucking. I seen a video with Hamza and this coach, and he was talking about he's about to have Hamza just exposing like all the fake black belts and shit.
yeah, I seen that too.
But I mean, we'll see. But Hamza
But
he's
Diaz
a
ain't
dog.
a fake black belt at the
No.
same time. He a real motherfucker, you know. That's
Mhm.
probably my favorite fighter too, honestly.
No, he's a beast. I'm glad. I would have rather though. I don't think it would have been a fair fight, and that's just my opinion. So I was happy seeing him fight Tony Ferguson for the last fight, and I mean that was good. He went out with the win, bro, with the choke. That was fire. That was good. And like I said, and then Hamza fighting Kevin Holland. I mean,
Kevin Holland's good and all, but he's just been that more like loudmouth. Great fighter, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think Hamza and him fucking compared at all.
I think he had a better chance though than Nate, just because of
Really.
Yeah,
You're tripping, dude. You think
No,
Holland would
'cause
take Nate?
Holland is not like you got to give him some credit, bro.
You think Holland would have took Nate though?
He would
You're
have.
tripping.
He could have.
You're tripping,
He
man.
definitely could have.
You're tripping, man.
I mean, Nate took Tony, but Tony is fucking old.
Yeah, but he's still fucking. He's like Master Splinter out there, dog.
And then I mean,
fucking,
he beat Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he can't.
But Kevin Holland is bigger than all those guys. Like Kevin Holland is a
True.
big guy too.
Yeah, true.
Like him and Hamza are both like 6'2", 6'3".
True.
So and Nate is old. Like you seen him. He wasn't like training hard or nothing like that.
He was training for
He was
wrestling
just-
only, though. You know,
He is starting up his own.
his fight company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his own fight league.
I forget what it's called.
It's gonna be
but-
sick. Yeah, the
Yeah.
UFC kind of did him dirty.
Yeah, but you seen that video with Dana White? He's like, "You always got a home here," type shit. So if he ever wanted to, if Nate Diaz
The way
ever
he
wanted
went out,
to,
bro,
he could come
like
back.
you gotta show that nigga love. Bro.
Yeah,
the
facts.
UFC. He did
Facts.
so much. The Diaz brothers, both of them, him and Nick. You
Yeah,
know?
but even Nick's last fight, he didn't really perform that well
No.
against Robbie Lawler.
No,
but,
Nate, the way he went out was so perfect.
but Nick's a goat still.
Yeah, both of the
He'll
Diaz
probably have
brothers,
another
bro.
fight soon. Honestly, who knows?
But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm hoping fucking Conor ends up coming back. I don't know. They're all saying he's on steroids.
I was gonna say you want to talk about steroids. He
Yeah.
probably on steroids. If anything.
Fucking guy is huge. He did bulk the fuck up.
I don't think he's on steroids personally, though.
He might not be. I'm honestly the innocent till proven guilty. So like
Yeah.
if they got some paperwork like that shows he's
Yeah.
on steroids, then he's on steroids. If not, I mean, you can put on fucking. When you have the money to hire trainers and hire dietitians,
man, yeah.
you can put on 20
You can
pounds of
bulk
muscle.
up.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It ain't like he's fucking 230 pounds. It's like he's probably
Yeah.
like one. He used to fight at 155.
Jon Jones is a big motherfucker. I know he's not on steroids anymore.
He's about to come back at
but
heavyweight.
he's about to come back heavyweight. Probably start knocking out
Hopefully he
motherfuckers.
fights
dude.
fucking Francis Ngannou.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
probably
a
be the first
dog-ass
fight back,
fight.
honestly, because it won't be Usman, and it won't be.
Oh yeah, he's too big. to
Won't be
fight Usman.
Edwards. So next step up would
Jon
probably be-
Jones. He would come back
Yeah.
and either fight Francis Ngannou or what's his name, Miocic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hawaiian fucking.
No,
That
not the Hawaiian guy. That's that one. You're talking about that.
Tuval
Yeah,
or
he
something.
just fought
Yeah,
Gabe.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
he got fucked up.
You got to think Jon Jones just can't hop into it and fight the baddest motherfucker. Same thing with Conor. You can't just hop in there and fight.
Jon Jones probably can. 'Cause
Well,
Jon
yeah, I know
Jones-
he can, but
Jon
will he
Jones
though?
is just a fucking.
Will he just get a title shot, fucking second fight type shit? No, he'll
I
probably
don't
have to
know.
work himself up the ranks again.
Yeah.
But same thing with fucking Conor, man. He's not gonna come back and fight for fucking the belt right away. He's gonna
No.
have to fight 2-3
He
times.
would though have the best. Them two would have the best chance because they're pay per view
Yeah,
sellers.
true.
You know,
Yeah,
like
they're the
whoever
goats.
whoever Conor comes back and fights,
Yeah,
it's gonna be the most watched fight. You know what I mean?
he'll probably be the loser of this fight, honestly.
So,
That
We'll
might
see.
be Kamza. Who knows, man?
but that would be good. That
Yeah.
would be good. UFC bro is taking over.
Mhm.
I mean it's more fucking entertaining than boxing. You know what I mean?
Shout out Jake Paul for bringing boxing back, though, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know if you're a fan or not, but I am.
I
Fuck.
mean whatever, bro. I mean the guy wins. I don't know if it's fucking staged or not.
True, that's only. I think those are just haters, though. You
You
know.
know, guys might be taking dives, but who knows?
Hmm.
I mean, he does this thing, bro. Boxing is hard, so I see his training videos and
Yeah,
shit. Like,
he's
he's
out
legit. He trains, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people fucking are getting into it, bro. Man.
Well, then you see these like social gloves out there with fucking like all these like Ostemic rooms and fucking phase members and shit, you know?
Exactly. No, yeah, and they're just bullshitting.
But at the same time,
it's different if you're taking it serious.
But at the same time, those dudes do be taking it serious, so they out there fucking grinding, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you kind of have to, you know, if you're gonna do something like that.
Yeah, shit's deadly, man. Motherfuckers die in the ring. Not lately, but it happens, dude. Fuck.
All day.
Yeah.
All day. Yeah, no, that shit is. It's people don't understand how dangerous that shit is, man. It's for real. But I mean, fuck, bro. We touched on a bunch of different shit. Shit was lit.
Hell yeah. How long we been going? Like an hour?
Fucking good hour.
Hell
so
yeah.
It was good having you on, my motherfucking dog.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on.
Yo.
Yo, nah, fuck that. Before you take the headphones off, let's get some closing remarks. Yo, subscribe to this motherfucking channel.
Yeah.
If you still on right now, subscribe. Leave a comment for us, dog. Like that video, dog. That shit actually gives us motivation to keep doing this shit.
All day.
I don't know if you're probably not really looking at it and shit, but
all day.
Yeah, fucking check out Big Kist fucking Instagram, dog. He got just made that shit yesterday, dog, man.
That
you guys are fucking following that shit, interacting. Like I said, I really do appreciate you having me on. I can't wait for you to get on mine and fucking
look out for the Broken Table podcast.
Kill this shit, dog.
We're gonna talk to you guys later.
Yes, sir. Peace out,
Peace
dog.
out.